you're gonna keep coming back. Why? Because you keep smelling the syrup, you worthless bitch ass nigga. Your purpose in life is to be in that chat, blowing a dick daily. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose.
Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 312. It is the last day of the week, aka the Big Bang Attack workout. I am feeling pretty good right now. I am about to go work out and do a bunch of stuff. I have been very tired, but it is what it is. But anyways, to the main subject matter for today. Natty or nots are kind of retarded. Yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to talk about today. Mostly because they have been around for quite some time. Many people have made videos about natty or nots all around the internet, either praising them or damning them or knowing what they are used for. I think that, relatively speaking, they are retarded in the sense that, and yes, I'm going to say retarded because that's the best way to describe it. They're retarded in the sense that it is a whole lot of fluff entertainment. It is like as if you're literally trying to figure out something that in essence kind of doesn't matter. It kind of does, but it doesn't matter. It just depends really. If you are in the fitness realm, it kind of matters. But the issue that I have really with it really is that it starts questioning people. Then if they answer the questions, no matter what the answers are, they're going to be seen as liars no matter what. Even if they provide what everybody asks for, then it's going to be the goalposts keep moving. And I think that that's the thing that pisses me off the most, is the fact that the goalposts keep moving and moving and moving, as well as the idea that people don't realize that others that are from different areas can come into this space and dominate easily. It's not necessarily that crazy. I'm going to give a sports analogy for this one, just because I feel like a lot of people don't understand this, and we'll get into more detail, but I'll use this analogy for it. When always talking about NBA players that would transition well into football, it's always LeBron would make a good tight end. Why? Because he has the body for it and would probably learn how to do it. And most likely, he probably would be all right at it. I think he played it in high school too. So it would make sense, right? He could go to another league and still be pretty dominant in that one too. Certain things will translate over to other aspects in athletics. It's not just necessarily pigeonholing in. So that's why I feel like Freaky D made a good video right here about this, where they need to get the standards up. But we'll talk about that later. I wanted to mention that because there are people that enter the fitness realm that were also athletic beforehand or did athletics in other ways and just happened to fall into this thing. Another example of somebody falling into something because of, let's say, an injury, Kevin Nash, big wrestler. A lot of people know who he is, part of the NWO original. He was a basketball player, blew out his knee, and then ended up becoming a wrestler. Why? Because it requires some athleticism, but not entirely the amount of athleticism that was required for, let's say, something like basketball. So because of that, he was able to transition over. Now, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of people go from, whatever sport they're doing. Let's say they're a D1 athlete. They get no NFL shot. So then they just go to like something like bodybuilding because they already have some of the things to already get there. And I think that that's something a lot of people forget. But I'll give you other examples and how there's a lot of crossover between a lot of like regular athletics and how the idea of natty or nots are just kind of stupid, or excuse me, they're just kind of retarded in the sense that nobody's ever really satisfied no matter what the person does. So, and we'll get into more details when we go to Mother Base.
All right, so start this day off with single arm lat pull down, which is pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand. Natty or nots are retarded. So the main reason why I want to discuss this is because of all of the recent, I guess not necessarily recent, but just the general trend of fitness influencers kind of hopping on a train that is the natty or not and then calling people out. It's like two factors of the same thing. I think that my main issue with it is that at the end of the day, these videos, these natty or not videos, are just pure mental masturbation. They provide absolutely zero actual evidence of anything going on either way, because most of the time the people who are making them for one of two reasons. One, it's for clout and or for popularity reasons, and or two, because they have to do it for cycling of content. There are certain people, not to name names, Greg Doucette, who happen to need the content anyway because his channel is now focused on whatever floats the boat this week. He is very much a topical person. He is the equivalent of the National Enquirer of the fitness realm. But that's beside the point. The point is, it's basic mental masturbation for all of these types of videos. They serve absolutely zero purpose in what they are trying to do. I remember watching a Natty or Not from More Plates, More Dates. It was about Eric Bugenhagen. I sat there for 30 minutes watching this man debate back and forth while looking at two different photos of this guy, whether or not he's natural or not. And I realized halfway through, he has no idea what he's talking about. Now, of course, he probably knows a little bit more, but still, at the same time, he doesn't know what the hell is happening, because that's the nature about those videos. No one actually knows. Unfortunately, most of the time when the people who are natural or not get got by somebody or reveal themselves to be not natural or a fake natty in this case. Sometimes these things just happen to happen like that. It's literally a video about speculation and or just hating on someone because you don't like them. And that's what 90% of the comments end up becoming, is that, oh, fuck this guy is 90% of the comments, which in reality is just a projection of your shit physique and or the hatred that somebody else got popular over you. Boo-hoo. Grow up, brother, because nobody's gonna come to save your ass and your weak ass muscles. I'm not saying like I'm a saint on this, but at the same time, it pisses me off when I see half the comments are immediately accusing the person, and even if they do everything that is asked of them, everything in the world, they will still get accusations, because of course there are people that are forever blackpilled that cannot believe that anything is achievable at all, which is always the most frustrating part about looking at those comments, because most of the time the comments are just all just trash and horrible. It literally serves zero purpose except for that weird niche of wanting to just destroy someone. And I understand why people would want to do it, in a sense that they want to, I guess, project out their frustrations onto somebody that might have achieved something a little bit better than they have. But at the same time, no matter what the person does, if they ever try to go against the claims, make sure that, hey, I'll do everything you say, the goalposts are just going to keep moving, and there's always going to be some asshole that says, hey, that guy totally roids. And it's like, brother, if this guy has to roid, come on, dude. Like you have taken the black pill so far up your ass that you don't even know what is the light anymore. At that point, you should just leave the fitness realm. At that point, if you are consuming it because you hate on these people, just leave. Just don't consume it. I don't even understand why you would even want to do that. That's another reason why I find those types of videos idiotic, is because people will just consume them as another black pill in order to reaffirm their ideals of what is possible in the world of fitness. But for some reason, when other athletes from other divisions come into the bodybuilding realm, because of course most people who are popular happen to have athletic backgrounds, they just end up being lost in the sauce because they say, oh, that's not possible naturally. Oh, no, that's not possible naturally. Have you ever thought that you are in the middle of the bell curve? Have you ever thought you were on the lower end of the bell curve? You retards. It really truly pisses me off in a sense that these people, and I include myself, I probably on the left-hand side of the genetic pool when it comes to muscle building. But a lot of these people who are actually there, and maybe that make it on the top, maybe are on the right side of the bell curve. And anybody who goes against that just doesn't like statistics at all. I think that more people really do think highly of themselves and project out that other people can't do something unless they're cheating. And I think that's the most frustrating part, is because it's basically, in a weird way, they cannot humble themselves with saying, hey, maybe I'm just not cut out for it. And that's fine. At the end of the day, genetics play the ultimate key. No matter how hard you try, they will play the key. Now, it's not the only key. It's not the greatest of all keys, but it is the key that you cannot determine. You cannot change it. And no matter how hard you try, that is something you cannot change. Every other key has to be turned to the most maximum degree that you can to see if you've maybe exploited everything that you can in order to get as far as your baseline building genetics will allow you to. And there are certain people that are just in the middle or just on the left. And hell, if you reframe it, because a lot of people don't like to reframe it like this, if you look at it like general population, you are doing better than the 99% of those people. So you're already on the right side of regular people. And reframing that is probably an essential thing that really needs to happen, because there has to be a reset to understand that even if you have a quote shit physique in the bodybuilding and or fitness realm, you're still probably doing much leagues better over the average dude, which is insane, because of course we're going to see the 99th percentile type of bodies. So it doesn't even fucking matter. It's just frustrating that people can never really give people their credit unless they are somehow telling the truth, but the truth is subjective to what they think is they are seeing, really. They have to bring somebody down because they think they're lying immediately. And of course, it's the fucking internet. Everyone lies. But then again, at the same time, you can tell if people are lying or not because you can tell by the way that they hold themselves accountable for things. So for example, what are they preaching? What are they doing? What does their training look like? How long did it take them to get there? What is some esoteric knowledge that they may be able to drop on somebody that might actually be able to help people get more gains that maybe they do? That's kind of weird, but hey, it worked. Things like that. But all of a sudden, if let's say they aren't doing that and they're focusing on buy my training, buy this, buy that, do this, merch this, as it supplements that, use my code X, use my code X, check out my cars, then of course you can say, hey, my judgment of character upon you is accurate because you are showing me your character with everything else you are doing in this platform. So that is why you look at everything that the person does and not just the physique, because at the end of the day, no one can ever really tell by just the fucking physique. They always reveal themselves through everything else that they do. It's very simple. But for some reason, nobody likes to think about that. Instead, they'll stare at a fucking picture for 30 minutes in a video and be like, he might, not Natty. And at the end of the day, what makes them so retarded is the fact that they don't even matter. Nothing comes from these videos. No one gets actual punishment. The only ways that they get actually screwed out of anything is whenever they either get exposed by someone or they expose themselves. Every other time, it's pure speculation, and unless they fall off, they can still stick around. That's all that really matters, really. The videos that keep being made by these people to try to keep them in the content loop kind of go in a cycle over and over again. So people like Greg Doucette and things like that, or people like that, will use these types of videos to try to gain popularity or just go through the same motions of making the same videos over and over again about the same person because they are in the quote unquote trends of what's going on right now. And that is why it is so frustrating, because you can see the cycle. Once they are in the realm of popularity, they could just keep milking them for content nonstop. And until they fall off, and then even then they can still keep making videos about these people. And then if they don't get caught, they never get caught most of the time. They don't even care. It's very frustrating because at the end of the day, it's just feeding into a cycle of bullshit. So just get away from it.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercise is not filmed, none. Exercise is skipped, also none. Got everything in, thankfully. But anyways, to the main subject matter at hand. Natty or nots are retarded. The main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because there have been a lot of videos about this subject matter throughout the years. Obviously, a lot of people have used the natty or not in order to get popularity in the fitness realm. It is something as simple as literally everybody's done it. There have been people all over the place. NH did a good video running down the big 5 people, but most recently, the big one that does it still to this day is Greg Doucette, as well as, well, Kenny KO used to do it, but he's doing it in person. So that's a whole other story, kind of different. But the reason why I find this quite stupid and retarded, as I said before, is the idea of it all stems down to proving whether or not they are, which is impossible. And I know that there are people who will say that there are blood tests that they can do and all this other stuff. But the issue is not that, because there are people that can be natural on their own. But the issue is that there is enough of a rumbling that no matter what the actual evidence is that will never believe it, that it doesn't necessarily even matter. And since a majority of the time that is a good chunk of the audience that are engaging with this in a weird coping mechanism, hoping to God that this person gets taken down because they're not natty or whatever, it's useless. It's weird mental masturbation and coping for people who just have shit physiques. That's all it is. Or have shit X, Y, or Z, whatever the hell is missing from their training. It's all just hope that whoever this person is who's doing much better can be taken down by whoever else is up there doing the taking down or whatever. And even if they were to, say, pass blood work or are 165 pounds soaking wet, none of those things actually matter in their mind because their mind's already made up. And that's the thing that bothers me about it. It's just like, if you read half the comments on that, it's like all reaffirming the same things. They don't even have any chance of changing anything. Even if they show evidence of the contrary, they instantly are already embedded in their decision making. So thus it makes the entire genre stupid, retarded, and honestly a waste of time and effort. I don't understand why people keep making it. Well, I do, because it's money, but I don't understand why people keep engaging with it, because it's in fact just mental masturbation for the retarded. That's all it is. It's for the people who cannot cope with themselves. And it sucks because, unfortunately, you have to deal with that. Not me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if somebody's natural or not. Obviously, there are other elements to how they do things that might actually reveal the ideal, how they actually got their physique. Because a lot of people, for some reason, never like to think of genetics in the sense that you could probably see it from their parents or something like that. If you look at somebody like Ronnie Coleman, if you look at his mom, yeah, you could kind of see how he got that. And then it's just stuff like that where it's like they just don't understand how athletes can happen in other sports that just happen to come to this sport. It's just how it works. Not everybody is necessarily that is a genetic freak is in the bodybuilding scene. They might be a genetic freak and decide that the money is somewhere else. So that's why they go do that other thing. There's probably some baseball players that could probably get ultra jacked that could come into the bodybuilding stage and be perfectly fine, natural as all hell, but then all of a sudden they'll get accusations. And baseball has its own steroid problem, but that's a little bit different. You can tell when that's happening, but that's beside the point. The point is, it doesn't matter. This is all just mental masturbation for the retarded, and if you keep engaging with it, you will become retarded yourself. So please stop. And I mean that with sincerity and hoping that you will stop or at least think about it as to why you consume it. And with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. This one was more of a combative one, but one I've wanted to make for a little while. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please stay safe out there. Stay cool. Keep it heavy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.